On my hard days, I usually don't think about it. I just try to get to the next day and hope that the next day will be better.
My legs don't work like other people's, so I have to be in a wheelchair.
I take the needed medicine for everything that's going on in my body.
My wish is to redesign my bedroom.
My wish is to remodel my backyard. It's like that warm feeling, almost like you know something really good is gonna happen.
Sofia è una bambina bellissima di 12 anni che ha una malattia però terribile che si chiama sindrome di Rett. La sindrome di Rett è una strega che è arrivata e le ha rubato tutto quando aveva 1 anno e mezzo. Di contro è rimasta dentro questa malattia, una bambina stupenda e meravigliosa, che è sempre una bambina che vuole vivere e ha grandi sorrisi, grande voglia di stare con gli altri.
Essere parte di questa giornata per me è un'emozione indescrivibile, oltre che un onore poter far parte della realizzazione di un sogno, di una persona, di una bambina speciale come Sofia. Porterò con me di questa giornata la consapevolezza che i sogni che ognuno di noi ha possono essere realizzati e non bisogna mai smettere di crederci.
Vedere Sofia con i suoi amici è stato bellissimo, perché Sofia è una bimba speciale, è delicata, è fragile, e quindi io penso che per lei sia stato un concentrato di emozioni ancora più unico, proprio perché non succede spesso.
Per me Make-A-Wish è sinonimo di speranza, perché un bambino così ha la possibilità di sognare ed è una cosa meravigliosa che dona un sacco di speranza. Cosa porterò con me? Sicuramente il sorriso infinito di Sofia. Dal momento in cui abbiamo iniziato il Wish adesso non ha mai smesso di sorridere, né con il sorriso e nemmeno con gli occhi.
Allora, Make-A-Wish l'ho conosciuta io tramite un'altra mamma di Verona che ha una bambina con disabilità grave e mi ha detto, sai, c'è un'associazione che realizza i sogni dei bambini. Ho detto, non è possibile, e ho incominciato un percorso che è stato bello anche prima di questa giornata, perché finalmente qualcuno si occupava solo di Sofia e quindi ho visto uno sguardo proprio su di lei. È stato bellissimo, una sensazione incredibile.
What would you give for a child you loved to make their wish come true? To help them fight a critical illness? Just imagine what you'd do. You see, wishes are so powerful, and you can make them real. They can give a child back their childhood, even change the way they feel. Every single one of us can make the stars align, because when we come together, hope and joy will shine.
Okay. All right. Well, thank everybody for joining in. This is going to be for, Empire Waste, but it's also part of C3. We are raising money for Make-A-Wish International, so if you are able to, please feel free. I'm going to put in the charity link. It's pinned, but just in case, and that'll be popping up randomly. Anything that people can donate is greatly appreciated. This is for kids, so hopefully we can make a whole bunch of people's lives better. But as far as the content for the next 30 minutes, we are going to be looking at the Empire Wastes mod. It's been, years in development, and things are coming along well. Of course, we are still far from completion, but we have focused on the beginning parts of the mod, and we would like to show you what we have. So I have the game running. Let me make sure that it shows up. Okay, I see it on my screen. Can someone just confirm that you can see the game screen? Yes. Okay, perfect. Alrighty. So I skipped a little bit in the beginning. Basically, the only thing that pops or that you've missed so far is a pop-up, which would be just a quest, and it says, follow the signal, and the signal brings you basically to the Adam Cat's garage, which is base game. And once you get in, you will see that there is a new barge off the coast. So let's look at that. So we can ignore them. And once you get over here, you'll see there's a barge, and there's a whole bunch of these shipping crates. And the signal comes from the back of it. There's some of these. And suddenly you see something strange. And coming into here, we have these Edutrons. And this is the first person that you're going to kind of talk to about the introduction to the mod. Working with these people, we're going to be using the script extender mod, which, not the script extender, the dialogue interface mod. And once you have the first contact, you have a bunch of options. These will all be based off of basically the type of response, and then also you'll have something specific. So this person is a male character, level 1, so he has the ex-military background, so he has this. I'm also going to show you another version where it is a woman, a female character, and she is level 26, so she has some stat points put in. So just to see what the differences are in the options. So you have all the same beginning options, but because the female player is a lawyer, she has the lawyer background, and because she also had put points into endurance, intelligence, and luck, she has specific options for that. So, I'm going to not necessarily go through this dialogue, just because, one, it takes a little while, and two, I kind of want to keep this a secret. So instead, I'm going to load exactly once you get in. The one thing that I guess I will be spoiling is the fact that it will be a crash landing in Central Park in New York City. Oh, my goodness, thank you, people. I didn't realize... Oh shit, we got my goal already. Thank you to Ultrawave, thank you to Doob, thank you for Krob. That's amazing. Thank you, all three of you. Thank you, and for everybody. That's amazing. It's been 5 minutes, so I'm very, very grateful for you. Make-A-Wish is a great foundation, so thank you very much. But yes, so you start here. You start off crash landed. There is the vertibird that had brought you. And at this point, your beginning goal is to basically follow a trail of breadcrumbs. And this will lead you to the source of why you're going to Manhattan. And the first person you need to find is located in the Central Park Zoo. So coming out of the oasis here, this is the Central Park Reservoir. This is one of the first buildings you can go into. Inside is a very basic area. It's just got like some resting area. It's got some food items. And it's basically just to allow the player to get something just before they go out into the wilderness. But you are going to start headed south. There's a bunch of moving, sitting deer. Okay, that's a new one. I'm going to ignore that. So going south. Oh, God, they're not going to ignore me. Okay. Going south, the first area that you're actually going to come upon is the Metropolitan Museum. So let me give you a little look here. And of course, this is a work in mod. So if you see, suddenly the world stops, there's just, I haven't worked there. So, you look a little bit east of there, there's just nothing there, but, it'll come eventually. But for this area here, this is the Metropolitan Museum. The Metropolitan Museum is not tied to any individual group, but it is a great place to go in and explore if you want to see some art pieces, as well as just like explore for possible loot and such. So this is an interior. I'm not going to go in it right now, but you can go inside. So I'm going to go right back to where we were, and we're going to continue our way south. So a lot of the map is pretty faithfully recreated as far as like land masses. A lot of the buildings, obviously, like we don't have the retro-futuristic buildings, but where the museum is, there is a museum. And while the scale is a little bit smaller than actual New York, I try not to like skip complete areas. Oh, thank you for the raid from Vida. This is great. Thank you for joining us. So we've just started. So the mod had us crash land in Central Park, and we are just walking south to go find someone. So this right now is behind the Metropolitan Museum. There's a little street. I'm going to try to ignore these ghouls. They didn't see me. Okay. I saw a question earlier, but it's gone from my screen. If you can put it back in, if I see it, I'll grab it. So in the real world, there is an obelisk straight out of Cairo. There is a sister obelisk in Cairo, which is kind of cool. So we have that installed. Hey. But yeah, so as we continue to go south, we will start to get to one of the first groupings of people. Asking if there are show or movie references. Yes, there will be several show or movie references. I try not to make them too obvious, but if you know them, you'll know them. One of my favorites is there's a couch stuck in a stairwell, and then there is blocks that spell out pivot. So for those who know, you know. So as we get over here, you see that building over there. That is a boathouse, which is in Central Park. And as we get closer, this region is one of our Raider factions. One of the Raider factions is called Anderson. Now, the thing about this region, the Manhattan region, is that although we do use the term Raider groups, they're not quite the same as Raiders that you might find in the Commonwealth. These people won't necessarily just shoot you for the hell of it. But of course, if you have a reason to, like if you're just running around with 10,000 caps in your pocket, they might want to, grab you. So this is the view from Central Park. You can see some of the buildings in the background on the west side. Some of them are broken. You can see some of the buildings on the east side. Also, some of the buildings are broken. And the region that we're going to is, like I said, Anderson. Anderson is set up around the conservatory, which is a small body of water. Those of you who might have watched Stuart Little when you were younger, this is where they race the boats. So this whole region is called Anderson because of the Hans Christian Andersen monument, which is right here. And the group of people who are going to be in this area will actually be not fully like obsessed with it like the kings are, but they are going to be highly influenced by his works. So some of the characters might share names from some of his characters. I think I just said characters twice. Some of the NPCs here will share the names of the Hans Christensen and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But as you meet them, they will actually talk to you. And while they do go out and, raid the city, they're more of prospectors than you might consider like actual raiders. They will go into abandoned buildings and pick out what they can just to survive. And going west from Anderson, we have another group, which is also on the same body of water where that boathouse was. And the two of them have kind of like a sordid past. They used to be one large group. They split in half. Anderson being a little bit more peaceful, whereas Lennon, which is on the west side here, is a little bit more aggressive. I think I might have just like a couple of people out here. In the full release, there'll be a lot of people around here, just like there would be in Anderson. So there's like a bar area here. So over here we have Seshat, and she is like a check-in person. So like you'll go out, you do your raids, you come back, you say how much you've brought back in, etc., etc. But yeah, let me just check the chat. Lennon, and that is a reference to not the Russian Lenin, but instead, actually, oddly enough, the Beatles. It's not gone into in great detail at the time, in the game rather, but it's a bit of a tongue-in-cheek thing because they are located on Strawberry Fields, which is named after the Beatles, and with Lennon and yada yada. This is over here, the Golden Tiger. We're not going to talk to her just yet, but she will be a possible follower and companion. She does require you to do something before she'll join you, but it's a possibility. So this location right here, this is a real-world location. This is the Bethesda Fountain, which is also part of the Bethesda Plaza, which is this full area here, which is right on the lake. This area, of course, under the control of Lenin. Looking over here, we have more of the plaza. We have a bandstand off to the left, and in the center here, we have something that was at one point meant for Halloween celebrations pre-war. But, of course, 200 years later, it's just being used for the survivalists. So they will be using this as an area to boil water, make some food, kind of as a check-in point as well. Are there Deathclaws in Madison Square Garden? No. Madison Square Garden, sadly for them, is actually a part of a giant crater. And I will go into that in a little bit. The inverse Lebowski. So, as I go a little bit more west, you can see more of the pond here. There's another plaza area over there. And as I start going a little bit further, we have another... wrong path. We have another Raider group. And this Raider group is called Amu-Nahi. Amu-Nahi is a acronym that comes from the American Museum of Natural History. So Amu-Nahi. Oh, here's Lenin. So as we come up pretty close. Oh, and I see a question of what is C3. C3 is the... Thank you, Rena. It is a modding showcase, and this is done with Bethesda and with creative modders, and every year we raise funds. This year we are raising funds for the Make-A-Wish International, which is an amazing group that does great work for children. So in the game over here, the pavilion, this is a real world area. Not really used for much, but at least if you know what that area is, you would recognize it in game. And as we get closer over here, this is a historical building, the New York Historical Society. And we'll go over here. There's a little bit of a pit for the Amu-Nahi people, made out of buses. So if they would be around in this area. And then as we come over closer, this is the actual American Museum. Loading is a little weird, but it'll pop in. But yeah, so we have the whole museum here, and this will be in an interior that you can explore as part of the Amunahi side. They have one door that actually works. Another thing that is in the area, this side, we are going to be heavily influenced by the use of the metro system. So we do have subways, and you can go into those. Down there would be a load and sell to go into the subways. Different subways will actually lead you to different hubs of the island. So originally, with sparkly eyes and great ambition, I was like, I'm going to make the entire island accessible. And not only is that a gigantic work, but it's also just not very good for your computer. So we've learned, and we've basically optimized as much as we can as far as like how big of an area we can. The the Washington DC from Fallout 3, those areas seemed a little bit small, so we wanted to make sure that we're larger. And while there are areas like Diamond City where it's like a walled area that's small, these hubs that we're going to are much larger. So in this example, we have almost all of Central Park available, as well as the east and west sides of the park for about 1 to 2 blocks, varying on the location. But yeah, another area is like the Central Park area. Another area is the area around Bellevue Hospital. And then another area is Canal Street, which those who might know is Chinatown in Manhattan. Going into that. So, yeah, oh yeah. What inspired you at a metro system? Well, it's honestly not that much of extra work, and it was kind of a I mean, we were obviously going to have stations anyways. The idea originally would have just been like individual stations that you would enter and leave, but when we realized the limitation of needing a space basically for and here's some burials of whatnot, but for needing some space and like the ability for us to go in to worlds, that was like our best solution for that. So extending it is not that bad. And then I had also helped out with Fallout London, and Fallout London also has, you know, certain aspects regarding their metro, so it was just kind of made sense. Something's floating here. What is this? Shutters. Okay, I don't know where that came from. I'll have to get rid of that later. But yes, so again, the basis of the mod in the beginning was going to find someone in the Central Park Zoo. So we are coming up close to where the Central Park Zoo is. Right now we have some of the baseball fields. Oopsies. So coming in here. So that building that you see kind of in the center of that grouping, that is one of the famous hotels in the area. Oh, that's the Central Park Carousel, straight out of Nuka World, I won't lie. But the hotel over there that is part of the Grand Army Plaza. What the hell? Well, that is new. Okay. What? Okay, well, bugs. I will need to address that, I guess. Okay, this is weird. Okay, I might have to reload or something. Something exploded. Alright, let me do this. I'm going to, hopefully this fixes it. Shit, what was it called? Zoo. Shoot, I forgot the names already. Help. Zoo. Yeah, now you know it's real. see. So, okay. COC, Central Park Zoo, EXD01. Okay, hopefully this fixes it. If not, I will have to reload something else, but hopefully we will find. And it's annoying because I did this whole thing like yesterday. Didn't happen. But yes, so the quest is to find someone. That person is located in the Central Park Zoo. This person's name is Peter. Okay, here we go. So this is the north part of the zoo. You would come... It's followed me. Okay. Well, I will do my best. Okay. Anyway, so this is the Central Park Zoo. So this is the famous Central Park Zoo gates. Okay, what on earth is... Okay, I'm going to reload. I'm sorry, guys. And I'll just COC again. Hopefully that doesn't mess it again. But yes, so going to the Central Park is the idea of following breadcrumbs. The person who sends you, you are not the first person he has sent to New York City. The person before you, his name was Peter, and he was sent, but there was really no incentive for him to actually do what the person had asked. And the thing that happened was basically he decided, oh, well, it's just easier for me to sit my ass down right here where I know it's safe than to actually go into the city where it's a lot more dangerous. So there is a failsafe on you, because this guy has learned from his past mistakes, to basically incentivize you to not just sit around and do nothing. But once you meet him, then you'll find who was the previous person, and like so on and so forth, and you just keep going. All right, it seems to be good, knock on wood. All right, so this is the Central Park Zoo. The Central Park Zoo, in reality, has this large building here. This is an armory. And this area would be for where the seals are. It's a really cool zoo if you guys ever get to the chance to go to New York City. It's right there in Central Park. There's a little kitty. His name is Big Daddy. But this is where you would meet Peter. Peter, currently I removed him because he has some like barks that I don't necessarily want to share just yet. But you would come in and you would talk to Peter, and Peter would basically give you access to the interior of this building, and also gives you access to the workshop. And you can actually use the workshop here in Central Park Zoo, and you have the entire zoo area that you can build in. So like, I'll just share like a chair or something where you can see, you know, a bench. So it's like, you know, this whole area. So you've got a nice big build area, although, you know, there is a pre-existing structures and whatnot. But you can make your own little thing. There's not going to be an emphasis on building up your settlements. It is kind of just there if you want to use it. There is the whole system of, you know, it'll be invaded or whatever, but that just comes with being a settlement. And right now we have 3 settlements. We have one right here in Central Park, which is like the first thing you'll find. And then there's another one in another park about halfway down the island. And then there's another one in another park way at the bottom of the island. So it's kind of like staged areas. And part of the reason why I wanted to do that is, one, so for people who are on like hardcore mode or something, you have like a base of operations where you can sleep and whatnot. And you would use this as your area. So once you come here and you talk to him, he'll send you. The next place is like, okay, go down to the next location, and the next location is further south in the island. So the story beats of the mod will basically take you from the very north part of Manhattan and slowly but surely make your way down to the south tip. And then ideally you would go all the way back up to the north at the end. But once you are in the island itself, you have the whole island to explore. So if you wanted to see any of the different communities and whatnot, you know, we've got plenty of things to find. People on the bench. A lot of the older looking buildings, especially if they're brick, are pretty much recreations of actual buildings. Whereas newer buildings, these retro futuristic buildings, are new. So that is something that doesn't exist in real life. This is Grand Army Plaza. There's a big old man on a horse. And there's the Grand Army Plaza Hotel, which was the one that I was pointing out earlier. And I have like a little plaque where you can read about that. So that building over there in the distance, kind of a cool thing just to note, in real life, that is the MetLife building, which is right behind the station, this Grand Central Station. And in real life, there was basically they allowed people to submit proposals. And I.M. Pei, who is a famous architect, basically suggested that building. It was this really cool looking twisted building based off like DNA or something like that. But of course, never came to fruition. But in my world, it did. And I see there's something weird going on over there. But yeah, so any of these like futuristic buildings, these are new, but the old buildings are existing. So right now we have the entire Central Park area built up. We have several of the hubs in the areas built up, including Times Square, including Bellevue Hospital, including the Flatiron Building, which is that famous building that's like a weird little pizza slice. And we are adding to it. So obviously you can see here there's some area that has not been built up. But as we get closer to where there actually is space, you can see the city there. So ultimately you can kind of tell where there's going to be a skip between the hubs. So a little bit south of Central Park, you won't necessarily be able to explore, but then you'll go right down to where like that's the in our world it's the Chrysler building. In this building is, or in this universe, is the Chrysler building. And as we get over here, I'm just gonna stop off at Columbus Circle for no other reason, but it's the exact opposite corner than we started. And yeah, and as we get in, we have the Central Park corners, are roundabouts or rotaries or whatever you want to call them. And this area is a large hub for space. And once again, we have the entrance to the Columbus Circle Metro. Oh God, it happened again. Okay. I don't know what's causing that. That's the weirdest thing. Okay. But yeah. So we are coming up to the end. So thank everybody for joining. Thank everybody for donating if you can. The link is still up if you want to help donate to Make-A-Wish International. We have met our $150 goal, but of course, any more that you can. Oh, we're running an ad break now. Okay, well, okay. I guess, I mean, I gotta hop off anyways. And actually, wait, am I going to you, I think? Who am I rating? Let me see. Yeah, I am. Via the Phoenix. I am going to raid you. Are you ready? Are you ready for me to send you off? But oh, gotcha. Oh, that's what you're saying. I got 3 minutes. Oh, gotcha. Okay, I see. Thank you for that. Okay, so then I'll 2 minutes right here. This is the real world Columbus Circle entrance. There is this, I don't know what the heck that is. It's the texture of the world, like the ground. I don't know why it thinks there's suddenly a cliff. Yeah, any questions, please let me know. Any questions? More than happy to answer anything you can throw at me in the next minute and a half. Parts of the area will be kind of open. there a player? There is a demo. It's super old. I do need to update that. I was kind of waiting for this before I do that. I obviously have to make sure that this thing doesn't keep happening. Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. Yeah, make sure that doesn't keep happening before I do that. But yeah, do any of the skyscrapers have interiors? Yes. And there's actually one specific optional quest which will bring you up one of them, because it is two of them are basically like crashed into each other, and you'll have to like get in. 1 minute left. Yes, thank C3 for having me. Thank C3 for, putting all of this together. This is really impressive, really well deserved, and we're making lives better, and we are showing the creativity of the community. So this is a great time. I'm very happy with all this. Half of this is not loading, but that's fine. All right, I'm going to start getting ready to raid Vita Phoenix. Let me see if I remember how to raid. I do. Vita Phoenix. All right. Thanks to everybody for joining. We're going to raid in 8 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you soon.